All right, folks, imagine this. You're barreling down some godforsaken highway at 3 in the morning, your eyes like sandpaper, the stink of stale coffee and unwashed dreams clinging to you like a bad ex. That's the raw nerve this tune strikes. Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive, a song that's outlived more hair metal perms than you can count. It's got that gritty swagger, painting rockers as modern outlaws, but here's the kicker. Behind the anthemic chorus lurks a tale of basement scribbles, borrowed riffs from a Detroit legend, and enough tour bus misery to make you rethink your next road trip. Stick around, because we're peeling back the layers on this beast, from its humble origins to its zombie-like grip on pop culture, with a few eyebrow-raising nuggets that'll have you spitting out your beer. Let's rewind to the mid-80s, when big hair was a religion and shoulder pads could double as flotation devices. John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, those two Jersey boys with more ambition than a politician at a fundraiser, are holed up in Richie's mom's basement. Yeah, you heard that right. Not some swanky studio with cocaine-fueled excess, but a suburban dungeon probably smelling of mothballs and leftover lasagna. John's tossing and turning on the tour bus one night in '85, listening to Bob Seger's Turn the Page on his Walkman. Remember those clunky bricks? And it hits him like a slap from reality. Seger's lament about the endless grind of the road, the loneliness that chews you up, mirrors their own circus. So John nudges Richie. We gotta write something like this. Boom. Next day, in that basement, they bang out Wanted Dead or Alive in one feverish session. Richie's mom even gets a shout-out in a later acoustic cut. She skipped laundry duty so they could focus. Imagine if she'd barged in with a basket of socks. Poof, no song, and we'd all be stuck humming something else at karaoke. Now unpack those lyrics, because they're not just cowboy cosplay for the MTV crowd. It's all the same, only the names will change. That's the weary truth of gig after gig, town after town blending into a blur. John's channeling his inner gunslinger, but with a twist. I'm a cowboy, on a steel horse I ride. Steel horse? That's code for the tour bus, that rumbling metal beast carting them across America like a posse of outlaws dodging the sheriff. And Wanted Dead or Alive? Straight from those dusty Western posters, but John flips it to the love-hate fame game. Fans adore you 1 minute, critics want your head the next. Oh, and that loaded 6-string on my back? It's his guitar, ready to fire off riffs like bullets. But get this trivia bomb. The track's actually played on a 12-string acoustic, making that line a cheeky fib. What if they sang loaded 12-string? Sounds like a banjo duel gone wrong. Nah, 6-string packs more punch, like calling your minivan a chariot. Slide over to the album Saga, because Wanted Dead or Alive didn't just drop from the sky. It was forged in the chaos of Slippery When Wet, Bon Jovi's 1986 monster that sold like free beer at a frat party. They're up in Vancouver at Little Mountain Sound Studios, producer Bruce Fairbairn cracking the whip, and the band's on the brink. Their first 2 albums? Solid but not world beaters. John's staring down the barrel of failure thinking, if this flops, I'm back to pumping gas in Sayreville. Enter Desmond Child, the hit whisperer who co-wrote You Give Love a Bad Name and Living on a Prayer. But for Wanted, it's pure John and Richie magic. The title. Inspired by Old West flicks John devoured as a kid, equating rock life to frontier outlaws, stealing hearts, booze and spotlights before dawn. But the album's name? That's a whole other yarn. John claims it came from a Vancouver strip club sign warning about wet floors. But let's be real, it screams 80s sleaze. Recording drama? Richie lays down that iconic talkbox guitar intro, think Peter Frampton on steroids, while John's voice rasps like he's gargled gravel. They nearly scrap the whole thing mid-session, tensions high as a bad acid trip, but Fairbairn pulls them through. Fun aside, what if they'd called the album Wanted Dead or Alive instead? Probably would have tanked, 2 on the nose like naming your dog Dog. Launch time hits like a freight train. March 1987, Wanted Dead or Alive drops as the 3rd single off Slippery, following those monster hits that already had teens moshing in malls. Chart-wise, it storms to number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, hangs at 13 in the UK, and cracks top 20s worldwide, Australia, Canada, you name it. But the real drama's in the video, directed by Wayne Isham, who captures the band's exhaustion like a fly on the sweat-soaked wall. Shot during the Slippery tour, it's black and white grit. John looking haggard post-show, Richie strumming in a tunnel, crowds roaring in arenas from Chicago's UIC Pavilion to Denver's McNichols. There's even a skyline shot over West Virginia's Kanawha River. Random, right? Like, why not Jersey? Isham edits it to amp the weary Outlaw vibe, cutting the song down to 4 minutes for punch. Launch hiccup. MTV airs it endlessly, but critics sniff at the hair metal excess. John later quips it was their anthem. But imagine the boardroom pitch. Cowboys on buses, gold. Satirical swipe. In an era of poofy hair and spandex, Bon Jovi's playing dress-up as Clint Eastwood rejects, bold or just begging for parody. From there, it's Ascent to legend status, baby. This track doesn't just chart, it burrows into the cultural marrow. By '89, John and Richie strip it acoustic at the MTV Video Music Awards. Just them, guitars, and raw charisma. Bam, that sparks the whole Unplugged phenomenon. Before, Unplugged was for nobodies. After, it's stadium gods bearing souls. Eric Clapton thanks them later with his Layla redo. The song's Ripple? It's the theme for Deadliest Catch, those crab-fishing lunatics battling Alaskan waves. Fitting, since both involve risking life for glory and a paycheck. Pops up in flicks like Harley-Davidson and the Marlboro Man, where Mickey Rourke growls through explosions, or Wild Hogs, that midlife crisis biker comedy. TV nods. Supernatural demons belt it, The Sopranos mobsters hum it, even Scooby-Doo 2 sneaks it in. Trivia twist, Emilio Estevez begs John for the song in Young Guns 2, but John nixes it. Lyrics don't fit Cowboys, duh, so he pens Blaze of Glory instead, nabbing an Oscar nod. What if he'd said yes? We'd have Kiefer Sutherland lip-syncing to Steel Horses. Absurd, like putting spurs on a Vespa. Enduring impact? This bad boy's certified 6x platinum in the US, quadruple down under, and it's spawned quirky aftermaths that'll make you chuckle. Covers? Not a ton mentioned, but imagine polka versions or something. Nah, it's too sacred. Odd tribute. Fans tattoo those lyrics, turning bodies into walking wanted posters. Ripple on culture? It flips the rock star myth. Glamour's a grind. Fame's a double-edged sword. In gaming, it's a Guitar Hero staple, letting bedroom shredders live the dream without the bus fumes. Buried lore. During a 2008 Detroit gig, John runs into Bob Seger at a Pistons game and thanks him on stage, full circle, like karma with a mullet. Quirky fact, the 6-string line irks gear nerds since it's a 12-string ovation Richie wields, but hey, poetic license. What if it was literal? John hauling a dozen strings like a harpist gone rogue. And the song's aged like fine whiskey, still packs arenas, inspires wannabe cowboys in suburbia. Satirical jab. In today's TikTok world, it's remixed with cat videos or whatever, dead or alive, it's undead. So there you have it, the wild ride of Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive, from basement brainstorm to cultural colossus, with enough twists to knot your spurs. If this tale of road-weary rebels and riff-stealing genius got your blood pumping, smash that like button harder than an 80s power chord, subscribe for more rock lore that'll leave you howling, and drop a comment. What's your Outlaw anthem? Until next time, keep riding that steel horse, whatever it may be. Dead or alive, we're all just chasing the horizon.